Hi, this is Abby from the Medicineless PharmD. If you have decided to cook for yourself, start meal planning and take control of what goes into your diet. The meal planning is the most incredibly important step of your meal prep journey. Let's talk a little bit about what goes into your meal planning. If you had tried meal prepping in the past, and it has not worked out for you, or you even successfully done it for a while and for some reason just stopped doing it, I will leave a link at the end of this video to one of my other videos where I talk about all the aspects of your meal prep and where your struggles might lie, where you could have struggled. Watch that video first so you could see where you resonate and where you had your blocks on your meal prep journey, so you could concentrate more on that aspect of your meal prep. But if you're starting new, or you just said, you know what, I want to start over, let's do this all again, let's start new, this might be a good video for you guys to watch. So first thing is deciding on what you want to eat. Couple things to remember here. People get very ambitious, right? When you have made a decision to meal prep for yourself, especially because you're only cooking for one, and that's a very important step, right? That's a very important decision that you have made in your life. If you're a mother, if you're cooking for a family, meal prepping, cooking, it just comes automatically, right? We care about our kids. We want them to eat healthy. We want to know what goes into their diet, right? But when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to cooking for ourselves, it's absolutely a self-care journey, right? We have decided that we are important, we want to know what goes into our diet, and we have decided we want to cook for ourselves. So it is a very important decision you have made in your life. And it's very normal to be very excited, to want to make this and that, and make sure you have a diet. You might have even decided, I want to follow this diet. I'm going to eat all these things. I'm going to prep and make sure I have things ready so I'm able to be on this diet. But hold on, catch yourself. The most important thing about a meal plan is simplicity. The simple you keep it, the more successful it will be. The less you plan, the less you have on your plan, the more you will do and the more you will eat. Trust me, I have done all those other things and I've been down this road a couple times, and trust me when I tell you guys, it's important to make sure that you keep this as simple as possible. So first, let's talk about what should go in this meal plan. Not the things you want to eat, things you aspire to do, the diets you want to get on. Let's not start there. Let's start with something simple. The simplest things that you will do and eat on your most absolute worst week. You're busy at work, you have things happening with the kids, maybe you're even sick, have allergies and not feeling 100%. What will you want to eat that week? Those are the things that should go on the meal plan. Once you figure out your absolute basic skeleton, eventually, once you get that routine going, you'll be able to add more aspects to it. That is the point when you would want to add more aspirational items into your meal plan, right? The first thing is to keep it basic, and it's to keep it simple. And it's even okay if you want to do some repetitive items. Again, get used to the idea of meal prepping, meal planning. Once you get those basics down, then you could just, on some weeks you'll feel more energized and you'll do more. On some weeks you'll do less, and it's all fine, as long as you're consistently doing them every week. So let's talk about what should go in the meal plan, right? These are not recipes you want to make, but recipes you love eating. So I'll go down the list and think about what are all the things you love to eat day in, day out. Is that mac and cheese? It's all right, nobody's judging. It's okay. It could be rice. For me, it's rice. I absolutely love my rices. I will eat rice and veggies, rice with curry, and that's my basic. And I go back to it again and again. And that's where my roots are, my comfort food is. It's totally fine. I will eventually talk about how to make these recipes that you go back to again and again more healthier, right? But for the beginning, let's keep it very simple. Think about what are all the things you'd love to have every week. That's easy for you guys to make. If there are going to be vegetables in there, are those vegetables you love eating? Is it easy to cook them? I will talk a little bit about how I do my meal planning. And obviously, meal planning is a very customized personal journey. Nobody could do a meal plan for you. I'm pretty sure you guys have tried following someone in their meal prep journey and tried doing what they did. You probably even went on like a website, signed up for something, and like you'll pick recipes and they'll tell you what you need to get. They'll even send you a shopping list, menu, like recipes on how to make them, and you've probably tried all of those things. Come on, I've done that. Somehow none of them really work for me, right? Especially when things get tough, they all fall apart. So let me talk a little bit about how I choose my recipes, how I meal plan. So the first thing is basic. For me, I love eating vegetables. I do love eating them, and I need to make sure that there are absolutely a lot of vegetables in my diet. That's my personal preference. If you love eating meat, that's fine. You'll just have to pick the meats, right? So for me, what I do is I love eating vegetables, but that does not mean I'm able to cook them all the time, right? That's another thing. Prepping and cooking vegetables are really hard. Cooking meat is pretty easy, right? You could even get them pre-seasoned, frozen, a lot of options. When it comes to vegetable, it gets a little challenging. So I love my vegetables, so I'll make sure that that's the first thing I prep in my meal prep. I usually do like 3 vegetables. One of the vegetables would be something that's easy to make. It'll be like cabbage, maybe Brussels sprouts. I've done cauliflower, broccoli. If you're talking regular vegetables, you could do them a couple different ways. I most of the time just roast them. Air fryer has been an absolute lifesaver for me. So I pick one vegetable that's like a cruciferous vegetable or something in that category. I sometimes even get like radishes, daikon radish, maybe the purple radish. So it's one vegetable that I could just season and just probably roast in the oven. Asparagus falls under this category. And then I'll get one root, but not potatoes. So I'll get one root that's not potatoes. It could be sweet potatoes. You could get Japanese sweet potatoes. Also think carrots, beets, parsnip, turnip roots, anything, right? I'll get like one roots, because roots season well and they roast in the oven pretty well, and I love the flavor of them. So it's nice to have that. I do leave potatoes for an emergency case scenario because I eat potatoes a lot. I eat potato even without any prepping. I automatically eat potatoes a lot. So on my worst days, I would go for potatoes. I always have a potato in my pantry handy, but I don't add it to my meal prep usually. And again, that's a personal preference. And then another vegetable for me that could go in a curry. I'll usually pick a vegetable that could be made into a gravy or a curry, so I could eat them with my rice or roti or any of my Indian parathas and stuff like that. So that's what I do. I pick 3 vegetables, and then I'll pick like 3 proteins. It could be, one of the protein could be egg. So I'll pick a fish. I'll either pick 2 different kinds of fish. Shrimp will fall under this category. I'm a pescatarian. I eat seafood. I do not eat meat. But if you're a meat eater, it could be like chicken, pork, and like fish. right? You pick them, whatever you like to eat. Something that's quick to season and easy to make. So you'll pick 3 proteins. I'll usually do eggs in this protein. I'll do a fish and like a shrimp or 2 different kind of fish, and that's what I do. I also do beans for my protein. So sometimes it'll be chickpea or like some other beans, lentil. But again, that's a very Indian diet. And I know it's hard for everyone to like do beans on a regular basis. So you guys should absolutely do what's comfortable for you and the protein you love to eat. I even do yogurt in my diet, and that becomes a protein, right? But you guys should do whatever you want to do. But pick at least 2 to 3 meat items, right? Like chicken, like 2 servings of chicken, 2 servings of fish, and maybe a pork or something like that. I meal prep for 5 days. Monday through Friday is kind of what I have in mind, and I'll meal prep from Monday through Friday. And for Saturday and Sunday, as I meal prep, I'll do things. I'll usually meal prep on Sunday. So on Saturday, I'll go through the fridge and get rid of everything else I have, eat the leftovers, maybe do mac and cheese from a box, get creative, or even go out to eat on a Saturday, right? And then on Sunday, I'll meal prep. On the day I meal prep, I will eat a little bit of everything I make, right? So it's like Sunday is like up in the air. So I meal prep Monday through Friday. But figure out what works for you guys, right? How you guys want to do it. So I have 1 vegetable that'll go in a curry. And I'll eat that curry with bread, rice, however I do it. For you guys, it could translate into a soup. Some hearty vegetable soup that you love to eat. Even a cheddar, broccoli soup, anything, right? Something with vegetable in it. And think of 1 salad, right? I'll sometimes do raita. I'm not a big salad person. I get into my seasons where I love to eat my salad, and then I hate to eat my salad. But in the summer, I do like eating like the freshness of this raw salad, right? So I will have like some kind of salad. It might not be salad by itself, but it could be raita. I'll usually add cucumbers, carrots, and stuff like that into it with some yogurt and stuff. So I do that. And I also eat some salad. Another thing to think about is greens. I always include 1 cooking green. Not a salad green, a cooking green. That's because I hate eating salads. If you love salads, great, it's so easy. Just pick up a couple packs of like salad mix from the store and you guys are good to go, right? I hate eating salad, so I need to include some greens in my diet. So I'll usually get kale, Swiss chard, dandelion greens, or like beet greens. I'll get beets with the bunches, so I could have like beet greens, right? So this is how my basic food pattern goes, right? So there are 2 vegetables I'm seasoning and I'm roasting. 1 would be a root that's not a potato, so it's not too carb heavy. And then there'll be another vegetable that'll go roasted in the oven. And there'll be 1 vegetable that gets cooked into a soup or a curry that I have with other stuff. And then there'll be seasoned meat in the fridge, like I have fish, shrimp, maybe boiled eggs. I'll have some seasoned meat in the fridge, as well as beans in my part. And if you guys are someone that eats beans, that's great. I'll roast up some chickpea with seasoning and add it over a salad, and there you go. I have my protein. And I also have a salad and a cooking green, which is so important for me. I always get like the pre-washed bunch of like greens in a box, and I'll quickly cook them over some olive oil. I'll even get like the radicchio greens, and I'll cook them with some butter and olive oil and just cook them on the stove top. It literally takes like 10 minutes to just like slowly, like slightly wilt them, and they're amazing to eat. And this is how my meal planning goes. It's pretty easy. And then I'll have like I'll have rice. I'll add frozen vegetables to my rice, and I'll make like 1 or 2 rice dishes with vegetables in them already pre-seasoned and everything. So there we go. I have my basic parts of my meal prep. I have my parathas, I have my rice, I have my soups, sometimes I'll have bread. But again, those extra carb items are easy to make, right? You might have pasta, however that works. On those one vegetable I get, say I get something like asparagus. It comes in a bunch, and that's a lot of asparagus. I'm not going to be able to eat the whole asparagus right away. So I'll roast half of the asparagus, and the other half I'll usually like leave them for the end of the week, and I'll just kind of pan fry them, add some pasta to it, and just have them that way, right? So I'll have some of those vegetables for the later half of the week to add to pasta, rice, maybe a quick fried rice, stir fry. On top of all of this, I also have one frozen vegetable mix that's always there. Sometimes I'll roast them, sometimes I'll add it to the curries, you guys could add it to the soup. Sometimes I'll just saute them on the stovetop and just have it with my fish. Pretty easy to do. So see, it's simple. You just come up with recipes and stick to the basic parts. What do you want to eat? How many vegetables you want to eat? How many protein servings you want to eat? Don't account for the carbs, because carbs are easy to eat. You could have like a grilled cheese, and that's a carb. You could make pasta real quick, that's a carb. Rice is so easy to make. I just throw rice with like frozen vegetables and my seasoned salt in the rice cooker, and boom, there I have my carb. So I don't even count the carb. I don't even really prep for the carb, because carb is so easy to like eat, and there's so much carb options available. I definitely prep for my vegetables, and I prep for my protein, right? Those are the tough parts that you want to prep for, shop for, make sure you have a recipe for that you could include. And another thing to think about when you're looking for recipes. Let's talk about looking for recipes. Where do you guys look for recipes? I look for my recipes on Pinterest. Recipes are dime in a dozen. Recipes are so easy to find. Good recipes are easier to find. You could even ask ChatGPT to find recipes for you, right? That's how easy life has become. It is not for the lack of recipes that you guys are not prepping. It's because of the lack of simplicity. I do 2 roast vegetables minimum, 2 roast vegetables every week at the minimum. And I always use the same thing. I use my seasoned salt. It's like a pre-mixed salt. If you guys are interested, leave a comment, and I will be happy to share that seasoned salt recipe for you guys. But again, it's a seasoning that you love to eat. Just pick a seasoning. It could be like a lemon salt seasoning. It could be adobe seasoning. It could be like a Cajun seasoning. Whatever you like, right? You pick a seasoning that you like, and you keep that handy for those roast vegetables. The vegetables by itself have different flavor patterns, especially when you do like one root and one regular vegetables. They'll be so different, even though you use the same seasoning. So I wouldn't worry about variety. Just use the same seasoning, just oil, season, air fryer, and boom, it comes out, and it's easy. The same way when you're cooking the vegetable. Just keep it simple. Add some butter, some broccoli, add a pasta to it. There you go, you're done, right? A meal is ready. So keep those recipes as simple as possible. And that is the secret to a successful meal plan. Once you do it, you've done it at least like 4 or 6 weeks in a row, you by yourself will know that you're ready to add more into it. 1 week, for the first 4 to 6 weeks, try to keep it the same, right? Try to keep this format the same. Whatever format you decide, how many ever vegetables, proteins, and like carbs you decide, just stick to it. Stick to the same skeleton. Just use different veggies, but always 2 veggies or 3 veggies and like 3 proteins. Just keep it the same. 1 cooking green, don't forget that, it's very important. Or like a 2 or 3 servings of salad, whatever works for you guys. It's always important to keep that skeleton, at least for 4 to 6 weeks. After that, those skeletal stuff will become so automatic for you, and you will see that you're going to start doing other things. You'll experiment, you'll try different things, right? And things will get better. But it's important to stick to the basic until you get a routine down. I'm curious to see what recipes you guys are going to pick, right? I'm curious to see what kind of vegetables and proteins you guys are going to eat. Please do leave a comment below. I'd love to hear. If you guys are struggling with coming up with recipes or menu planning, leave a comment below with the vegetables or like meat that you guys are trying to eat. I'd be happy to make a video trying to help you guys out on whatever you're struggling with in this meal prep journey. Again, the less things that are in your meal plan, the more you'll be able to do and the more you'll eat. So keep it simple and keep it successful. Thank you for listening to me. Do leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys are coming up with.